What's up, guys? Black FPL here, and today we'll be looking at my GW5 Captaincy decision, which is a big decision for a lot of people, obviously. My decision is between Sterling, De Bruyne, and Salah. I do not have Aguero, but if you do, obviously he is a decent captain option also. So right now, as you can see, I changed from Salah to De Bruyne. That is because Norwich pretty much had their whole defense injured. Now, I'm sort of going to be talking myself through this decision because I'm not even sure who I'm going to captain yet. But Norwich only have like one regular starting defender that's not injured right now. And considering they're going up against the best team in England, you would assume that Man City could probably score 4 goals in the first half. I mean, let's be honest. And Salah, I was just thinking about how, last game Mane was sort of getting onto him and getting mad about how he's taking more shots. Maybe that has an effect on how Salah thinks about how he's going to shoot in the future. I don't know. I'm just trying to take other things into consideration besides just the general stats that everybody can see. But the reason I would be going for De Bruyne instead of Sterling was just because Sterling hasn't really been involved in the build-up play too much. Like, he hasn't been really looking to get many assists and goals. I mean, he's been looking to, but he's just not fundamental in the way they work the ball through the middle. I mean, it's a different matchup this week, and Norwich definitely attack. Like, they might have to try to just go all out attack because their defense is going to concede anyway. I don't really know what their game plan is going to be, but you would assume it's going to be pretty messy. Okay, but here's why I wasn't at first on De Bruyne. It's because they could rotate him. Obviously, it's Pep Guardiola, and we know how Pep loves to rotate his players. So, with that, I had a fear of just starting somebody who ends up, only playing 30 minutes or being subbed off or something like that. But in reality, I think the risk is worth the reward in terms of if he plays the whole 90 minutes, he's got to get multiple attacking returns. I mean, you would think so. So I think I'm going to just have to take the risk because it's worth it. Even though it could make you end up feeling stupid, I think the Man City players, it's so guaranteed that they score so many goals. I mean, you'd have to say that. I can't think of a game this season where it's been more guaranteed, where there's going to be a lot of goals. I mean, surely they don't keep Man City to only 3 goals. I mean, come on. But in terms of the Newcastle matchup against Liverpool, Newcastle have been defending pretty well recently. They only conceded 1 goal to Watford. They were at home that game, so just looking at it simply, you would assume that Liverpool can score more than Watford. So you would assume Liverpool could score at least 2 goals. Can Salah be involved in those? Sure. I think Salah is probably going to get an attacking return still. But just because De Bruyne has such a high upside, and same thing with Sterling or Aguero, I would probably have to say captain one of those just because you could get somebody that scores who knows how many points, and that could really make a big difference in your season. I think these are the sort of risks you have to take. You're not getting them for a bad reason. You're not getting somebody just because they're differential. You're getting somebody because they have the high ceiling. And depending on what your goals are this season, like me, I'm trying to seriously make up ground. So I don't know if that should come into my way of thinking or not, but it is at the moment. Salah's still a safe option. I could switch back to him in any second. I mean, he's going to play 90 minutes against a Newcastle team that still aren't that good. De Bruyne would I take De Bruyne for 45 minutes or Salah for 90? That's the question. I don't really know. I think it would be similar, to be honest. I just don't see Man City not coming out of this with a lot of goals. So yeah, I guess I'm convincing myself into captaining Kevin De Bruyne. As you can see, also benched Pookie, and I have Zinchenko playing now. That's just because, again, Norwich, I don't know what they're going to do. I could change that back. I could change anything at this point. This is probably the least sure I've been about any decision so far this season. And really, Trent Alexander-Arnold's a captain option as well, which is interesting because, Newcastle will probably sit back, which means he'll have a lot of chances of crossing the ball. Who knows how much they'll try to stop Alexander-Arnold and Robertson going forward. But if they don't and they just dare him to cross it in all game, Alexander-Arnold could also be getting 10-plus points. In general, this could be a high-scoring week in terms of the average score for our teams. I mean, Lundstrom, a lot of people have him. He has a good matchup. Digne, not a bad matchup either. And obviously, a lot of people have some Burnley players in there too. The captaincy option, you could go with a lot of different things here, but I think I'm going to have to go with the Man City option just because of the massively high ceiling. I don't think Salah quite has it. But at the same time, does Salah ever have a low ceiling? I'm not sure. But yes, I will be going with De Bruyne as of right now. Just because the downside makes you feel dumb doesn't mean the upside isn't worth it. So I think I'm going to have to go with Man City option. Hopefully that's the right decision, and hopefully you've gained something from this video, which I don't know if you have or not, but you just watched the whole thing. All right, I'll see you next time.